So today we're going to have a go at chorale harmonization number 3, which is
Ach Gott, von Himmel sieh darein.
And I repeat,
Ach Gott, von Himmel sieh darein.
there's something peculiar about the key signature. Now the key signature would, there's one sharp, so at a superficial look that would suggest E minor or G major, but it's not. To see, so the piece suggests, the tune suggests A minor. Yeah. So why that key signature? Maybe it's the Dorian key signature. Maybe it's the Dorian key signature. But if you see, if it was the Dorian key signature, why haven't I got a Dorian tune? I mean, this is very A minor. And look, in the harmonization itself, look in that bar, for example, the F sharp is eliminated. The F sharp is eliminated. You see? The F sharp is eliminated. So why using that key signature? I asked myself. Why using that key signature if you have to deny it in the harmony? If you have to deny it in the harmony, look there also there. And the only explanation that I could give, that I could come up with, is in that part of the tune there. In that part of the tune, when it goes into the minor dominant, into the 5 minor region, into the region of E minor. It goes into the region of E minor. Cadencing on the dominant of 5 minor onto a B chord, the B major chord, which is 5 of 5 minor. Let's play the whole tune. First cadence. Perfectly minor, A minor. Now, that's just the first 5 notes of E minor. Then back to A minor. Nothing Dorian about it. Again, A minor suggesting cadencing on the dominant, and in fact he harmonizes it. He harmonizes that as chord 5. So the only thing that justifies that key signature is in that cadence, in that phrase, in the region of the 5 minor, of the dominant minor, E minor, which contains the F sharp. A bit of a long preambulum, if that's the word. Analysis. So the thing is, this is an A Dorian key signature, but I'm going to analyze it in A minor. First phrase, first cadence. Let's see. Let's make it a bit bigger. There. Let's see. I'll play it again. straightforward enough. Straightforward enough. We have chord 5, chord 1. This is chord 7. This is chord 7 in first inversion, and this is chord 1 in first inversion. Now this here is a textbook harmonization of either a melody going by step, dropping by step from the median to the tonic note, or a bass note going by step from the tonic note to the median. It's a textbook harmonization. A first inversion 7 chord used to harmonize the supertonic, passing from a root position chord to a first inversion chord. I suggest that to be taken out of context and transposed in a few keys. It's good exercise. It goes into your toolbox of harmony. Now that's 7 diminished triad on the G sharp. 7 diminished. Yeah. Let's proceed. This is chord 5 actually. And this is back to chord 5 in second inversion, by the way, and which is another typical progression. This time the passing chord is chord 5 in second inversion, and going back to chord 1 in root position. Now we have chord 5 here in first inversion, a passing 7. By the way, the F sharp is in the key signature. Why putting it there? Enlighten me. Anyway, the F sharp here follows the melodic minor ascending pattern, you see? This is a passing note. This is also a passing note, moving in parallel, creating thirds. Do they also create an incidental chord? Kind of do, because that's a D7. That's a D7 chord, if I wanted to analyze it, in second inversion, with the A in the bass here. The A in the bass. Now, does it have a harmonic function? You see, in jazz, they would call that Lydian dominant. And it is one of the modes generated by the melodic minor, which is used normally. How's that behaving? So, long story short, will I label that some type of chord 4 in the key of A minor? And if I do so, will I? Does it have a function? I mean, this is 1, this is 5. Okay. In perfect cadence. Will I give this second quaver a chord label? And what would that be if it's so? It's not chromatic chord. It's not a chromatic chord because it doesn't go to function as a dominant of something. This is just an incidental chord. If I wanted to label it according to the system I use, there would be chord 4 with a sharp third I'm using the sharp because it's there. You see, it's indicated here and indicated there. 7. The 7th is diatonic. It does create a harmonic sound. Does it function as something? I don't think so. Even if the 7th here, even if that 7th behaves like a 7th, it drops. And this is me from the day after, making a couple of corrections, a couple of thoughts. So, well, earlier I put the diminished circle here, because it is a diminished triad built on G sharp, and I want to show that it's diminished as opposed to the major triad, which would happen on chord 7 diatonically to the natural minor. Also, I want to put in parentheses the function of the dominant 5 here, the function of the dominant. But it occurred to me now that this chord, so mind that 7 diminished chord in that bar, and it occurred to me that this D7 chord, okay, which I analyzed as 4 with a sharp 3, right? Not chromatic, sharp 3. I could actually give it 4 chromatic, right? Functioning as 5 of 7. So the dominant 5 of 7. The dominant of G major. G major is 7 of A minor natural, of A natural minor, and it does happen later on. That could be 4 chromatic 7 functioning as 5, 7 of 7 of G with an avoided resolution, with a resolution onto E. So instead of going D to G, what you expect, it goes D to E. Deceptive resolution, whatchamacallit. Well, instead of going to E minor, it goes to E major. So yeah, that's how I would justify that. An avoided resolution, deceptive resolution of the D7 chord onto E, but major instead of minor. That's it. And goodbye from me from the future. Analysis. This is chord 7. 7. This is a diminished 7. I have the G. Let's order that by thirds. I have the G sharp, I have the B, I have the D, and I have the F. That's a full diminished 7. That I just do the function of 5 diminished 7. So it functions as a E. It functions as the E dominant chord. It's a diminished 7. Little note G sharp. Voiced. Okay, going to chord 1. First inversion. Passing note. Okay, I have a lovely dominant. A dominant chord in the root position, passing 7. That's a passing 7. Resolving onto chord 6. The soprano stays, the alto drops, passing note, passing note. Now, okay, now it starts getting interesting. Lovely dissonant moment. That's an accented passing note, because that's the chord. The chord is this one. This is chord 2. This is chord 2. Yeah. This is chord 2, and this is an accented passing note in the bass. Sounds like a lovely dissonant moment. Lovely dissonant moment of all the 3 notes on top sounding dissonant. Well, no, this is consonant, but these 2 definitely they sound dissonant with the bass. Now that now becomes dissonant with the 2 Ds. It's passing note. Passing note there. That's semi-quaver. Da-di-da. Well, this is a passing note in relation to this. Of course, it's a passing note in relation to this. But if I consider that a decoration, if this D wasn't there, if that D wasn't there, now this note here would have become an anticipation. An anticipation, would it? Let's examine that in a little bit more detail before we go ahead. Now, so far that's a passing note. Let's go ahead, because the next part there's a couple of interesting things happening. Right. Da da da. Okay. So what that suggests, like bread and butter would be 6/4, 5/3, passing 7. Like bread and butter. There's something happening in the tenor. Again, let's work backwards. That's 1. That's 1. This is that chord 5? Or is that chord 1 with an appoggiatura? You see? Do I consider that chord 5 with a minor 13, which is diatonic to the minor key anyway? Do I consider that chord 5 with a minor 13? I'm going to put it up here. Chord 5 with a flat 13. Going then to just chord 1, 6/4 at that moment. You see the minor 13. If I do that analysis, okay, now that's chord 1 in second inversion, right? If I do that analysis, the flat 13 doesn't actually resolve. Doesn't resolve. That's the flat 13. That's the flat 13 resolving, right? Against the E chord. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is this, and then this guy goes down, and now this A becomes a suspension, which then resolve. So let's think. Dissonance. Now that behaves as an appoggiatura. Rather than call that 5 flat 13, then 1 6 4, then 5 again with a 4 suspension and 5 3. I think here we're looking at chord 1. Chord 1 with a, that's an appoggiatura. That's an appoggiatura. That's an appoggiatura. 7 root. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it here, appoggiatura. That's an appoggiatura. Okay, in the second quaver there, it's still chord 1. Now, on the second beat, I have chord 5, and that A now becomes 4, and it resolves to G sharp 3. And finally. So, this is 1 6 4. This is one in second inversion. This is chord 5, 4, suspension, resolving to 3. Yeah. So why don't I call this chord 5 with a flat 13? Because that flat 13 does not resolve. Does not resolve. It's this note resolving to A, which cancels that as a flat 13. It cancels that dissonance. Yeah, I'm much happier with that interpretation. The G sharp is just an appoggiatura. And here it's me from the future again. Just a couple of points there on that passage. So if we ascertained that this chord is just this chord, that chord there, is just chord 1, that decoration in the bar before, in the beat before, this decoration here, that, yes, it is a passing note in relation to the D, to the last semiquaver D, right? It is a passing note in relation to the last semiquaver D here. But you can also think about that, I think it's nice to think about that as a decorated anticipation. You see, this C is an anticipation of this note, which, belonging to chord 1, see, is a chord tone. So that's chord 1, so that C is a chord tone. That's an anticipation of that C. And the D semiquaver, it's a decoration of that anticipation, if you want to look at it that way. So, as an anticipation. Also look at the voice leading in this cadence. Look at the voice leading in this cadence here. This tenor. It gives the tenor something atrocious atrocious. Quite an interval to sing. You see, that is a diminished fourth. You see, the G sharp and C, it's a diminished fourth. Now, what's happening there? Obviously, he wants a full chord, a cadence. You know, the way Bach always goes for a nice full sounding chord, a cadences. So what he wanted to do here, he wanted to avoid, you know, if this leading note resolved to the A, we would have 3 roots and no third in that chord, which would sound rather empty, right? In this context. Now you could say, okay, what if he had the tenor? What if he had the tenor going to A and the alto dropping to the third? That would have been a full sounding chord. Would there have been a problem with that? Let's see, this is a 5th, goes to a 6th. Yes, no. This is an octave E and becomes a 10th. And let's see with this, well, it's contrary motion. Now, okay, we checked alto and soprano, we checked alto and bass, let's check alto and tenor, goes by contrary motion, and now and there's no strange, there's no parallels, there's no downfalls in voicing it like in that alternative. Is there anything happening after that? In case I can't spot anything wrong with doing this. If you spot it, let me know. But what we have in Bach's chorale harmonization is this rather odd interval. I know, enharmonically it's only a major third, not that difficult to sing, but it is a diminished fourth. Just thinking out loud. And again, that's all from me from the future. Next phrase, tune. Harmonization. And that's the bit where we go into the 5 minor region, cadencing on its own dominant, cadencing on chord 2 chromatic. So let's see. 4 chromatic. I'll do that. Now that function as 5 of 7. I have briefly a G major chord. Oh. Now, so just briefly, chord 7, G major, which is the relative major of E minor, which is where we're going. That second quaver is a, well, I have D sharp, F sharp, and A. That's 7 of 5 minor. I'll just put the function here. I'll put it up here and then maybe I'll organize it better. 7 of 5 minor. Yeah, just that. Second quaver is 7 of 5 minor. Functioning as 5 of 5 minor. In fact, there I have 5 minor. Okay, that's no doubt it's no no doubt it's a true chromatic, D with the 7th in the bass passing. Let me do that little D tiny better. D, that's right, and in fact it goes to 5 minor again. This is the first inversion. Again, this is again 7 of 5. This is again 7 of 5 minor, 5 minor, D there, wait, 5 minor with the 7th in the bass. Now here we have this is an F sharp diminished. F sharp diminished. How does that function? Okay, this is just A minor, and it's easy to go 4. Okay, this is just 4 of 5 minor, and this is 5 of 5 minor. First quaver here, it's 2, of course. It's an F sharp diminished. No. F sharp diminished. That drop in there makes it 4. So this is just 2 of 5 minor. So I believe I can analyze all that in 5 minor. 7. 7. 3. 7. 3. 7 diminished. Yeah, so I have to put the diminished there as well, and the diminished there too. 7 diminished functioning as 5. 7 diminished. Let me do there functioning as dominant. That's 1. That's true chromatic functioning as 5. Passing 7, okay, that's fine. That's again 1 in E minor, That is again 7 diminished. Of 5 minor, and go here. Obviously that's 1. 1, and the rest I already have them here. This is 2, 4, and 5. I'm gonna close the parenthesis. Close the parenthesis here. All of that of 5 minor. Let's see if I can clear some of the muck. So I clear some of the muck, and I put the analysis on this row here, the analysis in relation to the home key, and in parentheses the analysis in relation of 5 minor, which is the whole region of that phrase, is in the region of the minor 5. Hello, me from the future again, just coming back here to recommend you to take this progression right there, to take that progression there and transpose it in a few keys. Because again, it's a way to harmonize, right? So, take my advice, I come from the future. Oh, and by the way, that D sharp E is gonna come back later in the piece. Going back to A minor. Okay, let's see now the harmonization. Okay, analysis. Going back to A minor. Going back to A minor, so relation to the A minor. 1, that's 5, and that's also 1 in first inversion. That is a passing note. Okay, there's a little bit of voice crossing here by having the alto drop here and by having the tenor conversely go up here and cross. These parallel fifths are avoided, and in fact look what happens there. The tenor is here, tra la la li la, and everybody's happy up to that point, and then it drops again into its spot. Right, so let's analyze. Let's do analysis. This is 5 minor with a passing 7, going to 6, going to 6. Now, does that create a chord? Yes, it does. A, B, D, F, and A. That's chord 2, 7 of A minor. That's chord 2, 7 of A minor. See again, it's 2 passing notes. 2 passing notes. But they do create a chord. Now the alto was sent here, makes a jump of an octave. And goes into its place. Just below the soprano and above the tenor, all on the top staff. Okay, so we have the alto there now. This is chord 1, first inversion. That's a passing note. This is chord 5. Okay, let's look at that last beat. Chord 1. Now, what's happening there? I have again a chord 2, 7, without the fifth. But I have chord 2, 7, because of those B's that create chord 2, 7 with no fifth. Okay, I'll label chord 2, 7. 2, 7, and this is just bread and butter progression. Ta, ta, ta. All these nice little formulas at cadences. It's a good idea to take them, extract them, and transpose them in a few keys. Okay, I think we're going home. I think we're going home right here. Let's see what we have. Quite an interesting ending because we're going on 5. Right there, it's finishing on 5. We're going on 5, so let's see what we have. We definitely have chord 1 here, that's chord 5. First inversion, back to chord 1. What an ugly one. Back to chord 1 here with a passing 7. This is chord 4. This is chord 4. This is chord 4. That's a passing note. Okay, now we have some chromatic things happening. Let's see what's happening. Oh, I didn't play it. I launched into the analysis. I didn't even play it. Tune. Let's see if I can play the harmonization now, nice and slow. Quite a tense, dramatic moment there at the end. Look at the bass. Bass and tenor. I'll play the harmonization just once again, nice and slow. So A minor. I hope I played it okay. Alto. Melodic minor scale. Okay, let's carry on. I hope I played it okay. The landscaping is distracting. Okay, what do I have here? A B flat. That creates E, G, B flat, D. Creates this chord. It creates this chord which is 2 of 4. And when the bass goes to C sharp, that's 5 of 4. 2 7 of 4, 5 diminished 7 of 4. So I'll put just that in a parenthesis, just the function. 2 7 followed by 5 diminished 7 of D minor. Or 5 diminished 7 because it functions as an A dominant of D. The notes again, C sharp, E, G, B flat, yeah. 5 diminished 7 of 4. Here I have that D major followed by an E7 like we had there, like we had at the beginning, that D. Okay, let's work backwards from the cadence. I have 5. This is a function of 5 of 5. This is 2 chromatic diminished 7. Yes, the function of a B dominant, 2 chromatic diminished 7. 2 chromatic diminished 7 functioning as 5 diminished 7 of 5. And in fact, where does it go? To 5. D squared, that's just 5 7 D. 5, 7, D in third inversion with the 7th in the bass, which drops. No, the 7. I have 5, 7. It's an E7 chord with the D in the bass. That D in the bass now doesn't behave as expected. That D in the bass rises. That D in the bass rises. Nice moment there. Okay, so that's chord 5, 5, 7. I'll put the D here so it doesn't look. Okay, 5, 7, D with the 7th in the bass, which is held from the previous quaver. That chord, that D major chord. Now that's just a plain D major. I could analyze it as 4 with a sharp 3. There's no 7th. There's no 7th, which gives it, which would to complicate things for me at least. So I could analyze that as 4 with a sharp 3. With a sharp 3 functioning as, 4 from the major. I don't know what does it do. What does it do? It's on the beat too. Chord 7 of 5, of course. Chord 7 of 5, just 7 of 5, a 7 chord, diatonic to the natural minor, so 7 of 5 minor. 7 of 5 minor. 7 of 5 minor. Okay. I am happy with that. Regions. Okay, this cadence on 5, there's lots of 5 functions as 5. What is 1, 5, 1, 5, 1. This is the tonic region, and so is this the tonic region. This is E minor. This is E minor, which is the minor 5. Is the minor 5. It feels like, yeah, so is the minor dominant region. We are going back to the tonic region here. And let's see, is there enough to what region is the last? What are we gravitating? Because there's lots of now A minor. Do it again. Okay, I'll play the last phrase. I still feel the pull. It's not like we've traveled a lot away the, and we actually dig a little bit into the subdominant. We dig a little bit into the subdominant, but we rise immediately into a secondary dominant to cadence on the dominant. I'd say it's just the last bar which tonicizes 5, but I think we're still in the tonic region mostly. Just as well that this 7th in the bass here doesn't behave like a 7th by dropping, because we already have that here in the soprano. The 7th behaves like a 7 and it drops, but if it did the same here, it would have parallels. And one last thought from myself from the future. That last chromatic chord, that true chromatic diminished 7, let's make it function as 5 diminished 7 of 5 minor. Now, can I get rid of, yeah, okay, 5 diminished 7 of 5 minor. Yeah, this previous chord is 7 of 5 minor, then we have 5, and then 2 diminished 7 of 5 minor because of the C natural, which maybe kind of makes this last 5 sound like a tierce de Picardie, as it hints to the minor, but maybe it's for me from the future to decide. And if you made it this far, well done, because I couldn't.